Hello, my name is Joshua Santianes. I'm a high school history teacher and interested in secondary education, and my concentration is social studies. Today I'd like to talk about Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez, and to my classroom and to the people in my class, definitely. I want to present a photo. Who is Cesar Chavez? Who is Cesar Chavez? I know my picture's not the best, but here is this person. Who is this? Who is this class? I mean, I wonder we know, and I want to get a good shot of of who is this? Who is this? Who is this person? This person, Cesar Chavez. I deeply care about. This is a passion. This is something that an issue I care about. I am Hispanic myself. I'm not fully Hispanic. I'm not fully Mexican, but this is something I deeply am passionate about as far as activism. Yeah, name that person. Class, can you name that person? Does this person look familiar to you? May or may not in this picture. You know? We don't know, right? But I'm gonna move forward. Backward in home life. Background in home life. This person grew up in a Mexican American family and was always working hard in the fields, working focused, wanting to help his family. I do have an outline, and I'm trying to follow the outline corresponding with what I'm talking about, but it's going to be challenging, but I do know some references and background. This isn't my only teaching, definitely. Cesar Chavez, his family were farm workers. His family were farm workers. This was in California. This is when we had to, and when I say we, I'm meaning him and the people at that time. So don't reference that to me or the people or right now or present. So okay. So his family were farm workers. Why did he have to be a farm worker? Why did he have to pick and work in the fields? Well, he was trying to support his family. He's definitely trying to support his family and trying to this was happened at a very young age. Caesar's family, and I'm trying not to read, but I have to read a little bit of history, right? Okay, and the class is great. The class, you're following me. It says Caesar's family worked long hours with little water, no bathrooms, and were not treated they were not treated with dignity. They were not treated with respect. Okay, we're talking 50s, 1950s, 1960s, 1970s. Were they treated with dignity and respect? Probably not back then. We're talking about the times where there was Rosa Parks and there was color segregation and there was blacks, whites. Civil rights movement was definitely coming about at this era. It says, I'm not saying it says, but Cesar Chavez's family did not find much food. This is a young person, Hispanic person that was working out in the fields. I'll get to that in a minute. Dropped out in the 8th grade. Was trying to support his family, and I've taught this lesson before. and I'm teaching again. So when we think of Cesar Chavez, why don't we think of this as like history, right? And in the 8th grade, he dropped out of school, which I was just getting to. He dropped out of school. Why did he drop out of school, class? Because 8th grade, because he was a full-time worker. What would you guys do if you were if you couldn't be in school or you were doing something else different in school? What would you do? I mean, it's not what would you do, it's what would happen if you were a full-time worker. So we're going to think of Cesar Chavez, and we're going to think of the time you're spending right now. We can sit in a classroom right now and just, wonder about, history. We had to go, Cesar Chavez had to go work in a field, right? We're not comparing, we're not saying what you should do or you should not do, but in my other bullet point, I put, change, okay. And I'm gonna read this. I read a couple experts from my outline, and I hope it's not a bad thing. I hope I become better. I hope I can memorize this, and I don't know the full story. Okay, he okay, he let's see. He meets Fed Ross, and Chavez is recruited by a community service organization, which is prominent to the Latino civil rights organization. Let's step like 3 steps back, 4 steps back. Okay, if we were within our community, I'm gonna make you guys understand, because I'm like, it was a class. I wasn't saying human rights organization, but is more like and I'm trying to get the details so I don't mess it up. Okay, community service organization, because he is about civil rights, and that's why I say human civil rights, but that's not what we're speaking of. Okay, so class, I'm going to become better at this. And, we speak about, community service organization. How did he become a part of this the community service organization? Because it was part of the prominent Latino or civil rights organization. How did he do that? I mean, it's not how he did that, it's he became a part of that. Let's change the question around. So he meets Fed Ross, and Fed Ross hires Cesar Chavez to work as a community service organization leader within the community service organization. So what does this all mean? I'm like, what does this all mean? I'm like, this is, and I'm talking in the camera like, oh, my students are already bored. Like, what does this mean? So what does this mean? This means he's becoming part of the community. He became part of this organization that's bringing about change, right? And I don't mean bored. My students are bored, but I'm trying to, in retrospect, reflect upon what is the lesson? Who is Cesar Chavez? So when we talk about change, we talk about Fred Ross. We're like, who's Fred Ross, right? And I'm talking to you like I just in the camera, like I just would be about my students. Who is Fred Ross? Okay, Fred Ross hires Cesar Chavez to work at the community service organization. And I don't mean to read off. I'll give you the links to this these sources, and he starts bringing people in the community together and to identify problems and ways to solve them. The community service organization showed people in community how to vote. So that's one, okay, that's one class, that's one way he started. So this person began community service, meaning, I don't mean to put it in quotes, but community service. And he started like, oh, how can I get my community? It's just not Latino people. We're talking African American. We're talking Filipino. We're talking white Americans. We're talking all different races, cultures, you name it, within that community. And we can deeper research. And that's what we eventually will do. So this is all exciting, definitely. And I enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy this too. Okay. Let's see. He identifies the problems, and the community organization. He shows people how to vote. If I didn't mention that already, I hope I did, because I'm thinking all of the things in my head, and I hope I'm improving upon my skills, definitely. So he shows people how to vote. Number one, these people didn't know how to vote. These people were from the 1950s, 60s, 70s. How to vote, I think this was in the 60s, but don't quote me on that. Okay. Okay. So Cesar Chavez, after he becomes part of the community service organization, he shows people how to vote. Okay. So he starts his main purpose and political activism. You want to say, oh, he didn't just become, oh, I'm going to become an activist today. Oh, I just don't want to become I want to fight for my people today. No, this impacted his life. This impacted his life on so many levels, and it's not his life. It's his family's life. It's his upbringing. It's his when he was a teenager. It was as an adult. I know he did go to the Navy as well. And when he came back after I think it was 1952, he also had a different retrospect and aspect of, like, wow, this is still the same. This is still what we're going through. Like, wow, right? So, and I don't mean right, like, oh, it's just simple or it's okay. But, okay, cut back. Let's go back to our what we're following, right? And I don't mean to just linger on, but it says and I don't mean it says, I'm not reading, but I'm also learning, because I have to get several experts. Okay, it says Caesar starts the national, and this is in what's in my outline too. So I hope this helps, because I needed the extra. I couldn't come up with this on the top of my head. Okay, Caesar starts the National Farm Worker Association to help improve working conditions. Why did he want this? Okay, we think back. Students, I mean, I've taught this class several times. Why would we want to improve this? Like, do we want to work for less than minimum wage? I'm sure his family didn't. I'm sure all the things that happened, he wouldn't agree to that happening. I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't. I mean, anybody wouldn't. But he was this is why this lesson and this person makes this such a impact, and something I want to teach about. Okay, it says he was also supported by many diverse cultures, and I already pointed out. This is something I'm going to point out because I have worked with all of these cultures that I'm going to list, and throughout all the states I've worked with, taught with, lived in these different states, and I'm not listing states, I'm just listing the people. Okay, so I can relate to this. Okay, so he was supported by many. It's not just supported. Oh, Cesar Chavez was supported. These were people that were also working in those fields. And I'm very passionate about this and to share this, so I can relate. So this is, this touches home. So I hope you, class, and everybody can relate, because we're all different. We're all unique. And the cultures that were diverse, and this follows the state standards, this follows what I am implying, and the cultures and diverse and community within the African American community, with the Filipino community, with the white